let's be real for a second. If you have a phone or an email address, you are a target. So today, we are going to break down this whole new wave of AI-powered scams and, more importantly, give you the simple, powerful tools you absolutely need to stay safe. Just imagine it. You get that call. The voice on the other end, it's unmistakable. The fear in their voice feels so real, and the request is urgent. It sounds exactly like your child or a family member, someone you love, and they're telling you they need money and they need it right now. And this is the deeply unsettling new reality of AI scams. We're at a point where hearing is no longer believing. All it takes, and I mean all it takes, is just a few seconds of audio from a social media video for a scammer to clone a voice with terrifying accuracy. They turn your own instincts, your love for your family, into a weapon against you.
To really wrap our heads around this threat, you have to understand the sheer scale of it all. This isn't just a bit of petty crime we're talking about. No, this is a highly organized, professional, global industry.
That's $1 trillion. That's the estimated cost of digital scams every single year around the world. To put that number into perspective, that is more than the entire gross domestic product of most countries. This is a global criminal enterprise, plain and simple.
And it is everywhere. I mean, more than half the people on this planet have come across a digital scam in just the last year. So the question really isn't if you'll be targeted anymore. It's how you're going to respond when you are. And hey, it's not just individuals getting hit. Far from it. According to the UK government's own data, a staggering 43% of businesses over there reported a cyber attack in the last 12 months. And what were the most common methods? You guessed it, phishing and impersonation. But, this gets to the deeper cost, the one that's harder to measure. It's not just about the money lost. Every single one of these scam calls, every phishing email, it chips away at our trust in the digital world. It makes us second-guess the very tools that are supposed to connect us. So let's break that down. The two words you really need to latch onto here are manipulation and social engineering. See, these scammers, they're not just attacking computer code. They are attacking human behavior. They use our own emotions, urgency, fear, a desire to help, to bypass our rational thinking. So, you might be wondering, how in the world did we get here? Well, the truth is, the whole game has changed. The clumsy, obvious tactics of the past, they're gone, and they've been replaced by something way more sophisticated. Come on, we all learned how to spot that classic email from a foreign prince, right? The one with terrible spelling. But today's attacks, they're a completely different animal. They're professional, they're personal, and they are frighteningly convincing, often using details they've scraped right from our own social media profiles. In this quote right here, from a cybersecurity report, it just hits the nail on the head. Criminals aren't spending all their time trying to break down complex firewalls anymore. Why would they? They can just use stolen passwords and usernames to walk right in the front door. They're not hacking systems, they're hacking people. This has led to something pretty wild, a full-blown criminal economy. You don't need to be some tech genius in a basement to be a cybercriminal anymore. Anyone with a little bit of money can just go online and buy the tools and the stolen data they need to launch a really sophisticated attack. They even come with tutorials and, get this, customer service. But the biggest shift, the real force multiplier that's fueling this whole scamdemic, is a powerful new weapon in the scammer's toolkit: artificial intelligence. You see, AI isn't just one part of the attack anymore. It's woven into every single stage. It sifts through data to find the best targets. It crafts those perfectly personalized messages. It generates the deepfake voices. And it even helps hide and launder the stolen money. And all the while, it's learning, getting better and better for the next attack. And please, don't think this is just some theory or a problem for the future. This is happening right now. In a huge case that made headlines, criminals used deepfake video to impersonate a senior executive on a video call. They tricked an employee into transferring millions of dollars. It was a sophisticated attack that just sailed right past all the traditional security defenses.
Okay, so now we understand the threat. It's big, it's real, it's scary. So what do? The good news is that these scammers, they tend to rely on the same old psychological tricks and phrases. And learning to recognize them, well, that's your first line of defense.
What's really interesting when you look at these phrases is that they are all designed to do one thing, and one thing only: short-circuit your critical thinking. They create a massive sense of urgency and fear to make you act before you have a chance to think. If you hear any of these, just stop, take a breath, and hang up the phone.
All right, here's a really unusual but surprisingly effective tactic you can use if you get a strange call and suspect you might be talking to a bot. It's called the car wash test, and it's specifically designed to trip up a machine's cold, hard logic. So you ask the caller that exact question. Now, a human being would immediately get the absurdity of it, right? You can't wash your car if you walk to the car wash. But most AIs, because they're programmed with all this general knowledge, will probably recommend walking, because it's better for the environment. It's a completely illogical answer that instantly tells you you're not talking to a person.
And now we get to the most important part of this whole conversation, your personal playbook for defense. These are the simple, powerful, and effective steps you can take to protect yourself and your family.
And you know what's really amazing about this? The single most powerful defense against the most high-tech voice scams is actually completely low-tech. It's a family safe word. Just agree on a unique, memorable word or phrase with your loved ones, something random like purple cactus. In a real emergency, they'll know the word. A scammer never will.
These right here are the fundamentals. They're the things that cybersecurity experts are constantly telling us to do because they work. Things like using multi-factor authentication or, and this is a big one, verifying a weird request by calling the person back on a number you know is theirs. And most important of all, teaching yourself to just pause when you feel that pressure to act immediately. These basic habits will protect you from the vast majority of attacks out there.
Ultimately, security isn't a product you can just buy and install. It's a process, it's a practice. The scams of tomorrow are going to be even more sophisticated than the ones today. So this isn't about a one-time fix, it's about an ongoing practice of being vigilant. The real question isn't just what the scammers will do next, but how will you prepare for it? Stay informed, and please, stay safe.